People keep asking me, is real estate still worth it in 2025? With rising interest rates, stricter Airbnb laws, and higher property prices, it's easy to think the best days are behind us. But here's the truth, smart investors are still making serious money, and you can too, even if you're starting with just a small budget. In this video, I'll give you 5 beginner-friendly ways to earn income from real estate in 2025. Some you can start without even owning property. Let's get into it. If you're completely new to real estate investing, you might be wondering, why bother in 2025? Prices are high, mortgage rates aren't as low as they used to be, and it feels harder than ever to break in. But here's what most people miss. Real estate is still one of the most reliable wealth-building tools in history. And unlike some flashy investments, it has real-world value that people need every single day. Think about it. No matter what happens in the economy, people need a place to live, businesses need a place to operate, and communities are always growing. In fact, in many cities across the world, demand for housing is actually increasing because supply hasn't kept up. That means opportunities are still out there, you just have to know where to look. In 2025, the game has changed in a few ways. Interest rates are higher than in the last decade. That means you need to be more strategic with financing, but it also keeps overly risky buyers out of the market. Short-term rental regulations are stricter in some cities. You can't just buy a property and list it on Airbnb without checking the local laws. Remote work is still influencing demand. Many people are moving away from expensive city centers to more affordable suburbs or small towns, which opens up new investing hotspots. The good news is, you don't need to be a millionaire to start. You can begin with a spare room, a small down payment, or even just a few $100s if you go the indirect route. And that's exactly what we'll cover today. Here's the plan. I'm going to walk you through 5 proven real estate income ideas you can implement as a beginner in 2025. Some involve owning property, while others let you earn from real estate without ever buying a house. The first one is the most traditional method, but it's also one that still works extremely well if you do it right: rental properties. In its simplest form, a rental property is any home, apartment, or unit you purchase and rent out to tenants. The big advantage? You get steady monthly income while your property's value grows over time. Plus, your tenants are essentially helping you pay down the mortgage. Of course, this isn't a get-rich-quick move. You need to pick the right location, screen tenants carefully, and budget for maintenance. But here's the thing. If you buy in an area with strong rental demand, you can create a reliable income stream that can last for decades. In the next section, I'll break down how beginners can start small with rentals, even in today's high-priced market, and how you can use one simple trick to make the property pay for itself from day one. Perfect. Let's continue the script, breaking it into 500-word sessions so your 7-minute video flows naturally and stays beginner-friendly. 1. Rental properties and REITs. If you're a beginner, the thought of buying an entire property might feel intimidating. But you don't have to start with a luxury apartment in a big city. In fact, the best opportunities in 2025 are often in smaller towns and suburban areas where home prices are still reasonable but rental demand is strong. Here's how you can start small. Look for single-family homes, duplexes, or small multi-unit buildings in neighborhoods with good schools, low crime rates, and nearby job opportunities. Consider a low down payment mortgage if your country allows it. Some first-time buyer programs let you get started with as little as 3%, 5% down. Factor in maintenance and property management costs from the start, so you're never caught off guard. One strategy that works well for beginners is buying a property where the rental income covers your mortgage from day one. For example, if your monthly mortgage payment is $1,000 and you can rent the property for $1,200, you're essentially living mortgage-free while building equity over time. The beauty of rentals is that you make money in 3 ways. 1. Monthly cash flow from rent. 2. Appreciation as the property value increases. 3. Loan paydown. Your tenants are paying off your mortgage for you. Of course, there are challenges. Tenants might not always pay on time, repairs can pop up unexpectedly, and vacancies can hurt your income. But with good screening and proper budgeting, rentals can be one of the most reliable wealth-building tools in real estate. Now, let's say you don't want to deal with tenants, repairs, or mortgages just yet. You still want to earn from real estate, but without the hassle of owning a physical property. That's where REITs, real estate investment trusts, come in. Scene. Animation of a stock chart rising with the label, REITs. A REIT is basically a company that owns, operates, or finances income-producing real estate, like apartment complexes, shopping malls, or office buildings. By buying shares in a REIT, you're investing in real estate without ever dealing with bricks, mortar, or maintenance calls at 2 a.m. The best part. Many REITs are publicly traded on stock exchanges, meaning you can start with as little as $100 or even less. And they often pay dividends, which are cash payouts you can receive every quarter. For beginners, REITs are a great way to learn about real estate investing without taking on the full risk of owning property. They're also highly liquid, meaning if you need your money back, you can sell your shares much faster than you could sell a house. In the next section, we'll talk about short-term rentals like Airbnb. One of the most flexible ways to start making real estate income, even if you only have one spare room to work with. 2 short-term rentals, Airbnb, and house hacking. Now, let's talk about one of the most popular real estate income streams in recent years, short-term rentals, like Airbnb and Vrbo. Here's the beauty of this method. You don't need to buy a new property to start. If you have a spare bedroom, a guest house, or even a finished basement, you can list it as a short-term rental and start earning money almost immediately. Short-term rentals typically earn more per night than traditional long-term rentals. For example, if you could rent a spare room for $500 a month long-term, you might be able to earn $1,000 or more a month by renting it out short-term, depending on location and demand. But here's the 2025 reality check. Many cities have introduced stricter regulations. That means you'll need to check your local rules before listing. Some areas require special permits, have limits on the number of rental days per year, or even ban short-term rentals altogether. If it's allowed in your area, the key to success is creating an experience, not just offering a bed. Guests love unique stays. Think themed rooms, personalized welcome notes, or offering local activity guides. In 2025, competition is higher, but so are opportunities for hosts who go the extra mile. Now, let's say you do want to own property, but you're worried about covering the mortgage. That's where house hacking comes in. Scene. Animation of a house splitting into 2 units. House hacking is a strategy where you live in one part of a property and rent out the rest. This could mean buying a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, living in one unit, and renting the others to cover your expenses. Some people even house hack single-family homes by renting out extra bedrooms to roommates. The rental income helps you pay your mortgage, sometimes completely eliminating your housing costs. The benefits? Lower living costs, sometimes zero if the rent covers the mortgage. You build equity in a property while someone else helps pay it off. You gain hands-on experience as a landlord without taking on a full-scale rental business right away. House hacking is especially powerful for beginners because you can often qualify for owner-occupied loans with lower interest rates and smaller down payments than investment loans. In the next and final section, we'll cover a less talked about but surprisingly profitable beginner strategy, land flipping. And I'll wrap it all up with a quick reality check and action plan for you to start in 2025. 3 land flipping scene. Drone shots of open land, plots for sale, and digital maps with highlighted parcels. The last strategy is one that flies under the radar for many beginners, land flipping. This involves buying undervalued parcels of land, often in developing or rural areas, and selling them at a higher price. You can find deals through online platforms, auctions, or even by contacting owners directly. Here's why it's beginner-friendly. Land is usually cheaper than developed property, meaning you can start with a much smaller investment. There are no tenants, no repairs, no maintenance, it's just land. You can often resell quickly, especially if you market to the right buyers. For example, you might buy a small piece of land for $5,000 in an area where development is expanding. Within a few months, you could sell it for $8,000 to $10,000. That's a solid profit without ever swinging a hammer. Of course, you'll need to research zoning laws, access to utilities, and market demand before buying. The last thing you want is to purchase land that's basically unusable. But with proper due diligence, land flipping can be a low-hassle way to get into real estate investing. Reality check before you rush into any of these strategies. Remember, real estate is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It takes research, patience, and the willingness to learn from mistakes. You'll need to study your market, understand your numbers, and have a plan for challenges like vacancies or slow sales. The good news? You can start small, whether that's renting a spare room, buying your first duplex, or putting a few $100s into a REIT. The most important thing is to take the first step. The action plan for beginners in 2025. 1. Decide which of these 5 strategies fits your budget and comfort level. 2. Spend at least 2 to 4 weeks researching your local market and the rules in your area. 3. Start small, learn the process, then scale up. If you've been waiting for the perfect time to start in real estate, it doesn't exist. The best time is when you take action and learn as you go. Let me know in the comments which strategy you'd try first. And if you found this helpful, hit that like button and subscribe for more beginner-friendly investment tips. Your future in real estate starts now.